Welcome back to the Scatterpot Podcast, episode 52 of 52.
You really want this podcast to be over?
No, I'm sticking with it. That's my new thing now.
Episode 52 of 52.
I'm gonna say
but it's only valid for
the
1 week.
The 1
the,
week.
The 1 week.
Yeah.
So it's actually kind of stupid.
Nah, dude. The people better just keep up with episodes.
Yeah, just keep up. For any of you who are watching this retroactively, you guys suck. Is basically what you were saying.
Is basically, yes.
Yeah. Man, we've almost done this for a year. Even though technically it's believed 52 weeks in a year, but it's about 52 weeks in a year. Because I think our first episode went live March 10th, I believe. I am quickly going to fact check that.
Fact check.
Do I need to sign in? Can I just look for Scatterpot? There we go.
No, that's not how that works.
Yeah,
Scatterplot. Scatterplot podcast.
The Scatterpot podcast. Tracks. Our first track went live. Well, that's what they're calling it on a. Gosh, it's awful because it only loads like about 10 at a time, so you have to scroll through a block of 10 and then wait for a second, and it's like, hey, let's see, this episode went live 11 months ago. When? Give me a date.
Nah, that's not how that works.
It really isn't. Hold on. Just talk for a bit while I find out when.
So I guess what's going on. I've been sick.
Yeah,
Kane's been sick.
We've all been sick.
So if my voice like cracks or you noticed it sounds different, I'm on the path to recovery. My voice is...
He's on his way to the grave.
Yeah, I took some heroin before, and
you took some.
It's really helped.
March 11th was the first.
March 11th.
March 11th. Wow.
Oh, by the way, do not let me forget the Elsa and Elf Funko.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to charge you.
I want. Give me the. Give me the Wreck-It Ralph.
No.
Give me the. Pikachu.
No.
Oh yeah, I remember your little story about Pikachu. You went to like different targets.
No, that's that Pikachu.
They're the same.
No, it's
they
not.
Look exactly the same.
No, they're not.
The art looks exactly the same.
One of them, this one, is waving.
Oh my god.
No, okay, so the story behind that is because when the Pokemon Funko Pop first came out, that one, the Target exclusive up there, was the first one, and it's just the Pikachu just kind of sitting there. And then they released a new wave with Squirtle, Charmander, Bulbasaur, and a little waving Pikachu. And they're about to release a new wave with Cubone, Mewtwo, Growlithe, Mr. Mime. It's weird choices. They made some weird choices with these new ones. Yeah, it's weird. I don't remember all of them, but they announced 2 new waves of them, and like they chose weird Pokemon.
So it is. So that's how it be.
It is like. Hold on, let's see. New Pokemon Funko Pop.
That
yes.
is English.
Yeah, that is English. Screw anyone who thinks otherwise. I know, I'm so rude. Alright, yeah. Cubone, Mr. Mime, Pichu, Growlithe, Mewtwo, Eevee, Vulpix, it seems like that's it, but who knows anymore? Yeah. I'm gonna get them all, sadly.
Gotta catch 'em all, you and me.
I know it's our destiny.
Spend money and get the Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Gotta buy 'em all.
I love you trying to sing with your.
I can't hit above a certain pitch or my voice just dies.
Oh, something funny. So I was sick Monday afternoon and like half of Tuesday. And what was funny is, so Monday I went to GGC to hang out with Sam, and then I came home and I was just like, I can't. So I just laid in bed the rest of the day, and so no one saw me for like 12 plus hours. I was just upstairs in my room. I came downstairs to get some water, and Kinsley was like, "Oh, how are you doing, Kanan? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "You sick?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I've just been chilling in my bed. And she's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "I just binged 3 seasons of The Good Place."
Oh my gosh.
And I binged the 4th season recently too. I binged the entirety of The Good Place in like 2 days. And it's not that long of a show. I think it's only 40 something episodes, 50 episodes. I just binged it. And it was funny because like I was like, I think I know how the show's gonna end. I didn't know how the show was gonna end.
Right. Took you for a ride.
Well, like third to last episode, I'm like, wait, that seems like that's where it should end. And I'm like, why is it still going? And then second to last episode, I pieced together how they were actually gonna end it. I'm like, oh, come on. They went with a without spoilers, unless you know anime, they went with sort of an Angel Beats approach.
Oh, fantastic.
Like, you know how that show sort of wraps up?
Yeah. Wraps up, yeah.
Yeah. It does that kind of wrap up. And like, you see it coming from a mile away, and you're like, oh.
Like, and
it's like, oh, come on. So besides dying, how was your week?
Well, before we continue, I believe your sister wanted a shout out. Was that correct?
She wanted us to. Oh, yeah, let me put the mic back. She wanted us to talk about that Instagram ad she showed us.
Oh. Okay. So, by the way, that Tara, I wouldn't buy that stuff because nothing's free in life. Everything's built into whatever product she was selling. She didn't even mention what product she was selling.
Well, I think she.
Did she?
So I think that's the product she's selling. She's selling those products, but it just said with your first order from them, you get all that stuff. So like your first order, you get all that stuff, and then if you want more from them, you just keep buying. So like, but basically, I only remember the dish soap. Yeah. The soap.
I think it was just like lotions and shampoos and stuff, right? That's what it looked like.
I don't know. It was like, you know, that organic crap.
Yeah.
That organic cosmetic. Yeah. But so what was she goes like, and here, and she also was like super high energy.
She was like, she was on something.
And she's like, here you have a little soap dish. And she said like, she put some soap and water in there, and then she goes,
yeah, there's like a brush. Yeah.
And then it overflows, and she says, don't do it that much. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Hold up.
What?
Excuse me. What? It was like a, not Petri dish, but it was like
it looked like a baby bottle.
Mm-hmm.
It had a brush, and it was supposed to like help you exfoliate your skin.
And then she did that, and then she's like, yeah, don't do that much. And then she just
kind of did. It's so weird, those ads.
Ads are weird.
They are like,
it's like when you think of buying dog food, but you don't say a word, and then tomorrow you get an Amazon ad for dog food. You're sitting there like, how?
Dude, it's trippy sometimes like that. You're like, I'm not comfortable with this.
Did I tell you when I first started working on my warehouse job?
Mm-hmm.
We get a lot of our stuff from the Uline, like boxes and tape and stuff like that. We get it from Uline. I never said the word Uline, and no one around me said the word Uline. I just like looked because we got shipments from them.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the product. I was like, oh, okay. The literal next day, an ad on like YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Just had it was Uline.
That's always.
And I was like, how?
It's always interesting like that. Like I had a similar thing when I worked at Brownlee's. But in my defense, I did say the name of the furniture a lot. Like, we were one of our biggest furniture brands that we distributed was Hooker Furniture.
Hooker Furniture. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a name.
Yeah, it is. It's a memorable name. I can't remember any other. I can't remember any other furniture. Except I remember Hooker and Paula Dean's line, which was called Paula Dean.
Paula Dean has a line of furniture.
they were ugly.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking, like, nursing home, like, floral pattern. And you're like, oh, my God. You needed to bleach your eyes after you looked at it. You're like, ugh. But no, so, yeah, we did a bunch of hooker furniture. And, like, and it would always be great because it would come up on this rap sheet when we needed to pick something. It would be, like, hooker recliner. And it's just like, or it would just say hooker. And so it was like hooker B12, and I'm like, and it's like, can someone go grab the hooker on B12?
Someone go grab the hooker.
And I'm like, what's the serial number on that hooker?
69420.
So we did, dude. We need to have fun when we hit episode 69.
It needs to be super clickbaity.
Needs to be just noise. Just episode 69 noise. But
it needs to be, the intro needs to be the guy going, like, clicking inside of his mouth. You know the guy, like, nice.
Oh yeah.
I can't do
it's
that.
Like,
he pops his, like, cheek though.
He goes.
I don't even know how he does it.
It's sort of like this, like.
It's deep.
Well, it's like, oh come on! I used to be able to do it. Yeah, I used to be able to I literally used to be able to do it because when that meme was popular, I used to be like, nice. But I can only do it like this now. Nice. But what's the other one? Invert the spoon. Aerate. That rich cream. French vanilla. That's 10.
That's a 10. It's an ice cream expert.
I don't. He had like a little gold baby spoon. It was a spoon like this big too. It was like the.
Yeah, that's like a sample.
Yeah, it was like a little baby spoon. He's like, invert the spoon. Aerate it. Warm cream. French vanilla.
That's a 10.
And I love the one that someone did where they put his mouth over his eyes, and so it just
like very loud.
That's
too.
a 10. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
There's noise.
What was I thinking of? I had a fun thing for us to talk about. I don't remember what though. So isn't that always the case? You don't remember the fun things. We could talk about the coronavirus. We haven't talked about that yet. Speaking of coronavirus, are you alive?
No.
Cool.
Coronavirus. The Chinese once again bringing over their crap. It's animal born. I'm gonna say born because that's what you're supposed to say. Animal born. Bologna sandwich. Probably a biological weapon. The Chinese did. They're depopularizing, dude.
Dude, you sound like who's that guy? The guy who hosts InfoWars.
There's a bunch of people. Alex Jones.
He
got fired.
I know he got fired because he did a lot of stupid stuff.
He was funny though.
He did a lot.
He was a meme lord.
But yeah, he did a lot of stupid stuff. Oh yeah, no. So actually, I remember the reason I wanted to bring up the coronavirus is there's earlier. Well, this week I think it was this week or late last week. There were rumors circulating that they might have to cancel the 2020 Summer Olympics because Japan has 300 confirmed cases of the coronavirus, and if anyone's played Plague Inc. before, the Olympics is where to get the infection spread.
And that's how you do it.
I remember back in like 2016 when the Brazil Olympics were happening, they had a thing that if you got the disease to Rio before the Summer Olympics time, you basically won the game because it literally just went to everywhere on the map. So there's rumors of it shutting down, but that wasn't what was trending on Twitter. Do you want to know?
Twitter's, I don't know. Yeah,
the Twitter, it technically was. The number one trending on Twitter was the guy's name who announced that they might cancel it. Do you want to know what his name was?
Wuhan.
Nope.
I don't know.
Dick Pound.
There you go. Hashtag Dick Pound.
Hashtag Dick Pound.
Number one trending.
Number one. So just imagine like everyone's like, no one knows the Olympics are being canceled just because hashtag Dick Pound.
Bro, yeah, people are gonna miss hashtag stuff and be like, yeah, hashtag Duke Pound. It's like, what are you doing?
The Olympics are about to become the hashtag Dick Pound.
What?
It's like, that doesn't, no.
It's not how that works. I'm cracking. I hate this so much. I hated it on Tuesday because we talked a lot in class, and I was like, people were like, what'd you say? And I'm like, I couldn't scream.
You're like, Yeah, Huber's sick with the coronavirus. He is patient 0 for Georgia, I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. Not sure if anyone in Georgia has confirmed case.
Nope.
Yeah, no, but the world's ending. Have fun.
I think isn't the coronavirus. Anyways, isn't the coronavirus like a strand of the flu?
Yeah, well, ish.
It's like it's a mutated strand, so it's like it's the flu but worse.
Yes.
So it's like, pump me with fluids, baby, and keep me alive.
No.
Let my body take care of it.
Let my body. I don't think that's how it works, Huber. I don't think.
Pump me. Pump me up with fluids.
Pump me, daddy.
That's how you just live, bro.
That's what you tell. Is that what you call the doctor, daddy? You're just like, pump me, daddy.
Yeah, when the doctor tells me to strip down for my physical.
Mm-hmm. He's an eye doctor, Huber. He's not even a physical doctor.
Eye doctor.
He's like, wait a minute, what?
Well, he said I had 20/20 vision.
Just imagine if you went to an optometrist and then they were like, all right, drop your pants, and it's like,
excuse me?
Excuse me?
I did my work better when we're naked. It was already stripped down. It's like, excuse me?
You go, excuse me, turn around, he's already just standing behind you. Like,
he's writing papers. Like, he's writing, scribbling.
And he's like, I work better. And then it's like,
But you're not comfortable calling a nurse. Nurse comes in naked as well. You're just like, I need to get out of here.
You sound like a pre-hormonal boy. Just like,
so I told my coworker,
I need to get out of here.
Puberty again. It's terrible.
You're like, I need to get out of here.
It's terrible. I hate it. I hate it so
You're
much.
lovely, Huber.
I hate it. Speaking of lovely, Mifa, because I saw her behind you.
Yeah, what about her? Are you a furry? Or scaly?
I think it's called a scaly. Nah, dude. Link was clapping those fish cheeks.
Dude, if I had a Zelda amiibo, I could prove you wrong. Because everyone knows from Breath of the Wild. Even though Mifa might be a fan favorite. Zelda.
No, Zelda has the cheeks. I didn't say Mifa did.
Yeah, but like Zelda. Like, I mean, I love all incarnations of Zelda, but I think Breath of the Wild's version's my favorite.
Why?
Obvious reasons.
Well, tell so they don't know.
I don't.
You got this. Do you like polygons?
Lara Croft Tomb Raider. PS1 days.
It was like, pew, pew. Like, whoa.
Like, you could stab your eye out.
You could diamonds with those.
No, gosh, I don't know how to segue to this without both of us sounding like absolute creeps.
Just getting you back. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know if you moved.
I'm moving.
Okay.
No, yeah, I don't know how to segue to this without both of us sounding like creeps. Speaking of Zelda characters that everyone can universally agree is desirable. Human form of Midna. Changed my mind. Don't tell me you like classic impish Midna.
No, yeah, imp all the way, dude.
Impish Midna or human Midna?
Imp all the way, 100%. 100% all the way, dude.
This feels wrong.
Bro, imp Midna.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually make a note of this because I need to show you. So Game Grumps recently just finished their playthrough Twilight Princess. And
you're right. They haven't played it. I don't think I could watch them play it because they're just gonna make fun of it and all that stuff. But let me
tell you, for example, they played Majora's Mask, my personal favorite Zelda game, and they hated it.
Oh.
Well, and I don't blame them because the N64 control. Here's
why didn't they play on 3DS?
Because it's harder to capture 3DS. I think they.
Isn't there like simulators on PC for stuff like this too? Couldn't they do that?
I don't know how they were playing it.
Anyways.
But like, here's the thing. There is, and it's not even that. I'm gonna make an argument here that a lot of people are gonna disagree with.
Controversial.
Every N64 game controls like garbage.
I don't think anybody would disagree with it.
No, there will be people. They're like, Super Mario 64 is still the best 3D platformer there ever is. I'm like, dude, those games control like doo-doo. And it's like, look at that controller. There's one joystick and it's in the middle.
Yeah.
It's like the game wasn't designed for anyone to play. Like, for example, I remember I played through Majora's Mask on my Wii U. I replayed through it. And because... And like, even with the modern controller, it controlled like garbage because it was designed for that garbage controller.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me just.
Yeah, no, yeah, because I'd say what was it, Skyward Sword.
Well, and that's the thing. That's why it's always tricky when it comes to best game in a series. Because objectively, I think you have to agree that the more modern games that control better are better games.
Right.
Like, for example, best Zelda game, even though my personal pick is Majora's Mask still, I cannot argue that objectively Breath of the Wild is better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is a fantastic game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just personally, Majora's Mask story stuck with me more.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Breath of the Wild 2, whatever that's called. Maybe that one will have a story that will... Because it seems like they're going to go a little more dark, which I liked with Twilight Princess and Majora's Mask.
That's why Twilight Princess was a hit, because it was dark.
Yeah,
and
but
Majora's Mask, too.
Yeah, and... I'm kind of excited to see how this new Breath of the Wild works out. I really hope it's dark, because, dude, if we could get a dark Zelda story with those controls in that game engine, I would be like, dude, 10 out of 10, like, out of the...
You gotta wonder, like, they're clearly not making a new engine for it, and maybe not even a new... Well, they use, like, most of the assets from the previous game, so either they're just polishing it like crazy.
Well, so what I think it's gonna do is, from that little teaser trailer we got at E3 or whatever it was...
Forever ago.
It seems to me that what they're gonna do is, with that event of the awakening of most likely Ganon, not confirmed, but most likely Ganon. Most likely Ganon. I think with the awakening of him, it's going to maybe not change. I feel like it's going to terraform some of the lands a bit. Yeah,
probably be like the whole
like darkness sort of, and it just becomes more dark oriented and maybe more like weird things. And also with Hyrule Castle lifting up, makes me think maybe we get to see Skyloft and maybe that. I don't know.
Yeah, like in Ocarina of Time, the castle was lifted up in that little thing. So it's like, is it going to be like that, or like what you said?
Or more like Skyloft from Skyward. Like that's the thing. I don't know where they're going with this, but I have faith. And honestly, do you want to actually, while we're speaking of this, we have not gotten a proper Nintendo Direct in like 6 months.
Then they're probably planning on
that's the thing. They're going to do something big at E3.
They're going to do what they did before. Be like, and now... What they do for when they released the teaser, they like didn't. They were like basically wrapping everything up.
Well, yeah, that's what Nintendo's been doing with their directs. Like, for example, they did a direct early 2018, like in January or February, and they did this whole thing, and it was this awesome direct where they announced these big games, and then they go like, and one more thing, and they do their snap to indicate the click. And that was the announcement of Smash Ultimate. Of the new Smash Brothers game.
It's like, whoa.
Dude, I can't explain the chills I got from that, because I watched that live on the TV down in the living room, and it was just, it like, you see the inklings, and I'm like, wait, well, we just got Splatoon 2, and I'm like, and we just got DLC for it. I'm like, is it new DLC? Is it like, and then there's just like the boom, that Fire Smash logo, and it's like,
you're like, oh,
yep. And so they did that with Breath of the Wild 2. Like so I figure probably at E3 they're gonna first off announce like tons of games probably, because you have to realize we have nothing for 2020 besides Animal Crossing from Nintendo.
New Horizon.
Yeah, where the men, where the boys and men will be separated.
I'm calling it now. They're gonna have a voice actor for Link in the Breath of the Wild 2.
They already have a voice actor. Yeah, just
you're technically right. They do.
Watch him speak, and he has the most Chad voice ever. Like, hey, what's up,
bro? That'd be like, that's the thing. Like, if they,
what voice would you give him though?
Kind of like not a high pitched voice, but I'd say like an average, not deep, but not high.
I feel like him being a silent protagonist is still the best.
Oh, it probably is, but like, I think that's it. They won't do it because they're gonna get a negative reaction no matter what.
Because that's the thing, like, because the argument for a silent protagonist is that the player can imbue themselves into this character.
Hey, Zelda.
Yeah, as soon as he talks, he gets a personality.
Yeah.
And then once he gets a personality, you can't see him as... Because you can either play Link as, like, this big old hero of time, like the guy who can just stare at a Lionel and just...
and rape him.
And break him. Mm-hmm. Or you can play, like, the, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. But as soon as he speaks, you kind of get an idea of a personality. So I don't think they'll ever have Link speak. But no, what they need to get the voice actor that did the Legend of Zelda cartoon, and at the end of Breath of the Wild 2, as it closes the game, he goes, "Excuse me, princess."
DLC
fades out.
He just like turns and looks at the camera panning.
Excuse me.
The Looney Tunes things are playing.
Excuse me. Just, that would be.
I don't know, but Zelda's voice actor's okay. I don't know why they got a British English person.
I think that's sort of because like
royalty.
Well, no, royalty, and then also I think they're sort of saying like. Just with the fantasy thing, like, you know, typical fantasy things like Victorian English accents.
They should have gotten the southern girl.
Yeah,
well, howdy.
She goes, yeah.
He's riding a guardian.
She's on top of a guardian that's spazzing out, collapsing Camino Village, and she goes, yeah.
Her dad's just like, where did I go wrong?
And he's like, oh God.
Link, take my daughter. And then he just like whoosh.
Just kills himself just so he can stand by an apple tree and go, can you get me an apple? And it's like, thank you.
He becomes the apple. He becomes the great Deku Tree.
Full circle. He becomes the great Deku Tree. Rivali still no one likes.
No, everybody hates Rivali.
Hold on, I think I have a Rivali.
You got this.
Yeah.
No one likes you.
No one likes you. Who's your favorite of the champions?
Probably Mipha.
I like Mipha a lot. And I think she's my favorite, but personality-wise, I love Daruk. Yeah. I love Daruk. He's so... I love the amiibo for him, too. Because the amiibos, they all have these, like, clear stands that help them stand up. And his is right up his... like, right up his jeez. And, like, if you look at him, he feels like he should be fine, but, like, it's just rammed up there.
Oh,
like, it is a...
Golly.
It is, like, half of his body just...
That's why he's smiling, dude. Look at him.
Show the camera. Show the camera.
If you observe, look at that, right?
Yeah, he is. That's why he's smiling like the way he does, because it's just jammed right up. Oh man, yeah, yeah, alright, yeah. But no, I think Daruk would be my favorite.
Urbosa.
Urbosa, I'm not a huge fan of. Oh, dude, her lightning powers are sick.
Lightning is insane, yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, it's insane. Like,
that was the most AIDS Ganon fight, 100%.
Oh, lightning Ganon. Dude,
that was so much harder than Ganon himself.
Well, that's because I imagine Ganon's a lot harder if you don't do the divine beasts.
You do that cheat. Well, you freeze them and then shoot ancient arrows.
Oh, yeah. Freeze them, shoot ancient arrows, and just...
And then that was it.
Dude, oh my gosh. Yeah, but no, I love Breath of the Wild. It's a fantastic Zelda game.
9 out of 10.
I'd say 9.5. I wouldn't give it a perfect 10 out of 10 like a lot of people gave it. But it's
pretty close.
It's pretty close. Like,
would you say that? And I've heard this from other people.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that while it gave us an open world, it lacked good dungeons?
Definitely, but
yeah, I'd agree
I would
with
make
that.
the argument that in place of classic, and I'm going to say classic Zelda dungeons, which are these huge sprawling things with one continuous theme, they gave us the shrines, which to me, when I was playing the game, was perfectly fine with me. It was a plenty of a replacement. It was fine. Would I like to see a proper Zelda dungeon or a couple proper Zelda dungeons in the real game, in the next game? Yes. Because the Divine Beast, all of them are very similar looks, and so it's kind of like it's essentially the same, just the puzzles are different. It's like find the map, hit all the beacons, and then go to like the hub and then fight.
And fight the Phantom Ganon.
Yeah, the different Blight Ganons.
Excuse me, Blight.
Well, I'm trying to remember. It's Water Blight. I think it's all of them are Blight based.
Yeah, it's water, lightning,
air, and fire. And so then that's the thing. Like, I would like to see more. Like, if the second game doesn't have any proper large dungeons, I'll be a little upset. Because I think I've had enough of the little shrines and the. Because, dude, I did all the shrines. I did all 120 shrines, and boy, I did them all. And it's like, yeah, I'm perfectly happy with the game, and I love that game to pieces.
You get Deku Seed.
I did not get all the because I didn't
poop.
I didn't want to waste my life to get a piece of poop.
Hey man.
I did everything else for the most part. I did all the side quests and stuff like that. But no, Breath of the Wild, fantastic game. I'm trying to remember where we started from this and where I was going originally.
I have no. We started. Well, we went from like dark Zeldas to
yeah. Yeah, but no. What was I thinking? Oh, okay. I have a suspicion that we're getting Breath of the Wild 2 very soon.
It's gonna drop tomorrow, confirmed. As
No.
soon as this episode gets released.
No, I think earliest fall of this year.
Oh.
Latest spring of next year.
Oh. Okay.
Because of the fact that the first game came out in 2017.
Just forever
3
ago.
years ago.
Yeah, it's a long time for game development. Well,
but the thing is that, like, you have to remember they were working on the DLCs through 2017. So let's say they started development on the sequel in 2018. That gives them 2 years of development time for a game that is going to use the same engine.
Same engine, same assets, same.
I'm gonna say similar assets, not exactly the same, but
like trees and birds.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
So I'm thinking
grass.
I think it's coming sooner than we think.
Tomorrow, dude, I'm telling you, they're gonna release a trailer and everybody's gonna flip out.
Yeah. So like I feel like, dude, I'm feeling something big coming from Nintendo's Direct this year at E3 because they've been radio silent for 6 months. Because the only directs we've gotten were like the Pokemon Direct. And the Animal Crossing Direct, and then the Smash Bros. Direct. We got those 3 directs, but we haven't gotten like a proper Nintendo Direct where they just announce all the games coming since September. And like, dude, I feel like just whenever E3 comes around, they're just gonna be like,
yeah, they'll probably do an E3 thing.
And so I'm thinking, like, dude, they're gonna announce some big stuff. They're like, all right. Here's a release date for Breath of the Wild. Here's a release date for Metroid Prime 4. Here's a release date for a new Mario game that we're working on. And also, here's a new Mario Kart game. Like, they're gonna...
Here's Mario Kart 9.
And, like, that's the thing. I feel like they're just gonna go, like... And then it's gonna be like, and that's it. And then it's just like... And then Microsoft and Sony will be like... Ta-da! With their new consoles.
I don't know much about the PS4 PS5, which is weird to say, but I
Yeah.
know the Xbox X series.
Well, apparently they're trying to make it just Xbox.
So the Xbox,
Like, and they're trying to, not in a sense like this is going to be called the Xbox. It's the Xbox Series S, but they're trying to move away from names for the console and just like you are playing Xbox, which is a smart idea, but also incredibly stupid.
it'll be hard to implement, but
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like saying I play Nintendo.
that's your mom saying.
I know.
Do you play Nintendo?
Well, no, like what was it? Your DS or your Game Boy. Like when those got big, everything was a DS or a Game Boy, and it's like no.
No, I'm sorry. But yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say.
We were talking about Xbox Series X.
Oh yes. So yeah, the Xbox Series X. From what I know, and after looking it up, it's gonna be a.
It's gonna be a beefy.
It's basically a mid-tier PC. It can run 120 hertz. It can do 8K, but I mean that's not gonna happen.
I heard it can do 120 frames at 4K, which is pretty.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I know it has a Ryzen CPU.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has a NVIDIA GPU.
I think it actually may be an AMD GPU.
AMD GPU.
Because I think it's a fully AMD system in there. But what I heard, so the 12 teraflops, they announced that it has 12 teraflops, which perspective, the Xbox One X, which is already a pretty powerful console, that's only 6 teraflops. And then interesting, so it was officially announced that the Xbox One Series X will have 12 teraflops inside of it. A couple months back, there was a leak that said the Xbox One X would have 12 teraflops in it. So it's like, okay, that leak might be true. That leak also mentioned how the PS5 will only have 9.5 teraflops.
Oof.
So if that is to be believed, it looks like Xbox One Series X is going to come out the stronger power console at launch, which would be funny because that means it would have been Xbox 360 Xbox 360 PS3 PS4 Xbox One Xbox One Series X and PS5, which would be funny because they just keep on switching.
Forth,
they're just playing Pong with each other with
ping pong.
So yeah, that would be interesting if that turns out to be true, that the Xbox One, and that's a pretty marginal size, well, like power compared, like it's not negligible, like that is a lot of flops. So that'll be interesting. Xbox announced a new thing that with the Xbox Series X, if you buy a game, you buy it, like, and what they mean by that is, if you buy a game for the Xbox One, you will have the Xbox One X and PC versions of that game as well.
That's pretty cool.
You only have to buy the game once. They're trying to make it so you don't pull a GTA 5 and buy the game 3 separate times for all the consoles. Yeah, buy the game once and you have it across all Microsoft platforms, which I think is awesome, actually. Because, like, yeah, that would be great. And then, like, Halo Infinite is going to be on Game Pass day one.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Like, dude. So I was having an interesting conversation with someone. I want to hear your 2 cents on this. Who do you think is the best of the big 3 game console manufacturers? And that's on a hardware and software side. Like, between Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, who do you think is truly number 1? And not like oh, these have the best games, but this is the stronger. Like, which one overall do you think is the best? So having an interesting conversation with a friend.
I mean, that's just hard to like
quantify.
It's not like comparing apples and oranges, but it's that in the sense that you are comparing the Xbox, which is more for like, it is for gaming, but it has more like other uses like YouTube and the internet and stuff
But
like
arguably, the PS4
That's
also does that.
That's the thing. It's like, we'll advertise Xbox.
Oh, well, yeah, but that was a flaw of the Xbox, honestly, early
big,
on in this generation.
Big oof.
Yeah, it's like, you're going to watch TV through the Xbox, and here's a Kinect forced. It's like, oh.
For free.
For free, $500.
So you said Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo?
Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, yes.
The best of those three.
In particularly their gaming, because I know Microsoft does PC stuff as well, not them. I'm talking the Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, essentially. Like, who do you think is top dog?
Right now, it's PlayStation.
You'd say PlayStation?
Yeah.
Reasoning behind that decision?
Just better hardware.
Okay.
And then Xbox will be ahead when the Xbox comes out.
So it's funny because currently, if I'm not mistaken, the Xbox One X is the most powerful console right now.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. The PS4 was more powerful than the Xbox One at launch.
Mm-hmm.
But the Xbox One X is more powerful than the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. So Xbox One X is the most powerful. PS4 has better AAA exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
But Nintendo also has great exclusives, and they're in a market that's different enough that it warrants its own category. So it's an impossible question to answer per se, because
that's what I was saying. That's why I said it's not like comparing apples and oranges, but it is in the sense that
they're also different. But here's something that was, so we were discussing about that, and my friend was like, Nintendo just needs to stop. And it's like, what do you mean they need to stop? And it's like, yeah, they just need to stop making consoles. I'm like, dude, they're not struggling. They're doing amazing right now. And he's like, yeah, but they just...
If they could make a more powerful Switch.
Well, there are rumors of that's in the works. But, like, here's the thing.
I'd be fine with it.
Like, and I mentioned one thing, and this is... Do you want to know something that's scary? Nintendo could win everything tomorrow if they wanted to.
Oh.
And what was the only thing they'd have to do, and literally everyone in the world would say Nintendo's the best?
Hentai games?
No. They would just need to create a Game Pass style subscription service for Nintendo games. And everyone would jump on board.
Do you mean like every single game that's ever been released for Nintendo?
Every major game.
So it'd just be like the Xbox Pass?
It would be like the Xbox Game Pass, but Nintendo games. Every Zelda game, every Mario game, everyone. If they released a Game Pass style service, they could win tomorrow.
Maybe. Only because...
Because here's the thing, they used to do Virtual Console, which they had all the old games that you could put onto your console.
Mm-hmm.
But they stopped that after the Wii U. But here's the thing, you had to buy each game individually. If they did a Game Pass style subscription, like $5 a month, and you can choose any of these games, so many people would buy into that, and they would make so much money.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people that don't buy... The reason they don't want to buy a Switch is because they literally just don't want to have to only be able to play Breath of the Wild, which you can't. You can play on a Wii U now, but besides that, I think that was like at first, that was like the
first
reason.
launch, yeah, that was the thing. Everyone was like, there's not enough games, because at launch there was only 6 games. It was Breath of the Wild,
Mario Kart, I'm pretty sure.
No, Mario Kart was a month later. Legend, Breath of the Wild, 1-2 Switch.
Oh yeah, those games.
Yeah, Just Dance 2019.
Just Dance.
Oh no, that would be Just Dance 2018. Then there was that racing game that came out, like it was sort of like F-Zero, but it wasn't. Shovel Knight and Puyo Puyo Tetris. Those were the 6 games that were out at launch. And then but then that's not even a problem anymore on the Switch. There's so many games.
A lot of games on there now.
So many games. That is 21 games right there. And that's not even all the games I have on my Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch downloaded on my Switch. That's everything from ARMS to Xenoblade Chronicles. I only remember that because A and X.
There you go.
It's kind of easy to remember the library when the first one starts with A. When you have a game that starts with an A and a game that starts with an X, it's kind of easy to...
Xenoblade.
Yeah. Which is weird. They announced a remake of the first Xenoblade Chronicles game coming to Switch. Don't know when though. Like that's the thing. I'm kind of curious. Oh gosh.
Yeah, going back to like, if they made it more powerful Switch, just like make it look better. Because I'm not like I don't really care about graphics in the sense that like if it's great gameplay and all that stuff, it doesn't really matter. But like if I could play Breath of the Wild and not walk up to a rock and it not be textured, and it be like not like the little tiny details, but I'm saying like get like smoother.
Yeah, well like the thing
like
is that like I understand exactly what you mean, but like I feel like that doesn't bother me too much because I'm playing it just on the go. Like that's if I'm ever sitting down and playing a game on my monitor behind you, then I'm like,
I understand. Like I understand it's hard to get good technology in something so small. I understand that.
Yeah.
Because I think there's like switches and use like a GPU CPU processor where like everything uses the processor.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but like you're like it's I love my Switch. I would love a more powerful Switch. I would love it. I don't know when or even if we're gonna get a more powerful Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, the Switch Lite is technically a more powerful Switch, only because the smaller screen, it has to render less, and it has longer battery life. And the processor is like it is the tiniest bit difference.
Yeah, it's like not noticeable.
No, it's not noticeable at all. But no, if there are rumors of a Switch Pro coming out, but here's the thing that kind of sucks. The rumors for the Switch Pro, which is a more powerful Switch, they're saying like it's probably gonna be like a fixed console. I'm like, but then it's not a Switch. It's just there. And so like I love having my Switch and just taking it everywhere. It's almost always in my backpack, which is kind of a bad thing because that case is super expensive with all the games I have in there.
I was gonna say like if you get mugged, say goodbye.
Yeah, I was about to say because like let's see 20. Yeah, that's I don't want to do the math on that.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Oh my gosh, yeah, but more powerful Switch would be nice. I'm not going. I don't. But I mean, I'm a huge Nintendo fan. I'm gonna like whatever Nintendo comes out with next because I'm a Nintendo fanboy, and the Switch is just finally got everyone on my side. Because I was like, the Wii U is cool, and everyone's like, shut up,
shut up, nerd.
And I'm like, but it's cool. Like, I will die on this hill right now. Wii U still to this day has the best in-console online browser of dude, it's not even a contest. It's so much better than like Microsoft and the Xbox, a company that works with computers.
Yeah.
Their browser on the Xbox One,
dude, isn't it Edge?
It's Edge, and it is god awful.
The controllers are awful just because it's a controller.
Well, but like here's the thing. It's just atrocious. Like, with the Wii U, you can use the touchscreen, of course, but even if you're just navigating with the control sticks, it feels so natural and it works. Like, for example, left stick is scrolling up and down. Right stick, zoom in and out. And then the button, you can use the D-pad to select between the clickable options, hit a button, go. Xbox One X, you click a button, 12 minutes later, it maybe did what you just told it to do.
Maybe, you never know.
Like, I will die on that hill. The Wii U still has the best online browser of any console. And, yeah, that I will die on that hill.
Nice Kane's Hill. He will die.
That is the hill I will die on. Speaking of hills I need to die on, I need to find a weird news story.
Oh.
But yeah, it's gaming's in a weird spot right now, especially with the rise of cloud streaming.
More jiggle physics.
More jiggle. Did you hear about? Okay, this is a weird news story. This isn't my weird news story thing, but I will because I'll find something weirder. Okay, so on you know cam websites with cam girls, correct?
Oh yeah, I already know where you're going with this.
You know this
I
story.
already know this.
With the 3D.
What's her name? She has
Melody.
a name. Yeah, Melody. Yeah.
That is hilarious to me. Okay, so basically, why don't you explain that story to people?
So there's like some cam girl website, and that's where a lot of women of power get their money. And then there's this like 3D rendered like anime girl named Melody, who is getting more views than all the other cam girls. And the cam girls are mad because they're not getting views. And it's the funniest thing.
Oh.
It's like, I don't know. It's just funny.
It's so amusing to me. Only because when I was reading the article, I saw this on Twitter. Someone said, about right, those Twitch thoughts finally see what it's like.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just, it's, what? Okay, I think I found her story.
Oh.
But, yeah, no, so I found it funny because someone's like, this is so funny because on Twitch there's all these guys that are like, I hate these cam girls because they just show a cleavage and then they get all the clicks. And I just love the idea of people just like watching this anime, but just like, yes.
Yes. Let me do my fact real quick.
I don't remember. Do we do I think we do my news story first and then your fun fact.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I cheated. I used Florida Man again. Cause see, Florida Man.
Stop cheating. No, that is your one requirement. Bad.
No, let me read this one at least. Let me read the headline to you.
Ugh.
Florida Man repeatedly offers to show IHOP patrons his genitals condoms.
I'll look at that.
A suspect accused of stealing donuts in separate incident.
Suspect accused of stealing donuts
in a separate instance.
Hey man, he stole
I love
donuts.
that the news article was like, this guy tried to show his genitals in an IHOP.
In other news,
he was accused of stealing donuts.
Yeah.
Let's see. In Pinellas County, Florida. Okay. Florida man who repeatedly showed guests at IHOP condoms as he tried to get them to look at his genitals stole donuts after he was released from jail, according to Pinellas County Sheriff.
Get out of jail and then immediately steal.
Deputies, he probably stole the cops' donuts.
Probably.
Deputies said they were called to an IHOP at 3 a.m. Saturday because guests complained
3
that.
3 a.m. Guests, what are you doing up?
I don't know.
3 a.m. at
IHOP? You go to Waffle House at 3 a.m. Not.
Yeah.
Because guests complained about Alan Ibanez? E. coli, yeah. Approaching their tables and offering to display his genitals while he showed them condoms. Managers asked Alan to leave, but he refused, records show. Alan, age 24, a little too young to be this crazy, had reportedly been involved with deputies in 2 other incidents earlier that night, so authorities arrested him on disorderly conduct charge.
Okay.
He bonded out of jail the same day, only to get arrested again around 4 p.m. In that instance, deputies said he went to a gas station, ate one donut inside the store, and walked out the other without paying. Records show Alan admitted to stealing the snacks to give it to law enforcement officers because all cops love donuts. In that case, Alan was arrested for a theft charge.
Oh,
He's like, I stole the donuts because all cops like donuts. And look at this man. This is a man that, like, he needs to do better with it.
Actually, a woman. Just get rid of that goatee and then boom.
Yeah, it's just a 24-year-old man goes to the IHOP at 3 a.m., goes like, "Hey, here's some condoms. Do you want to see
You
my
wanna see my
genital?
nuts?
Do you want to see my? Do you want to see my nuts?" And then
Wanna see
he's
my
like,
nuts?
then he gets arrested, and then he gets out of jail, and he goes, "All right." Goes inside, steals donuts, comes out, and he's like, "Why'd you steal donuts?" Like, all cops love donuts.
All cops love donuts.
It's true. All cops do love donuts.
It's very true.
Wow. All right. So Huber.
Did you know that there's enough porn in the world that it would take a person's entire life and they still wouldn't be able to watch all of it?
I believe it. Hold on. Wait. Okay. So I just remembered. Did you ever hear the story? I don't know the details of this story. Not involving porn.
Okay.
About the dude who was racially discriminated against, won the court case for the racial
Oh
discrimination.
yeah. I did hear that. Yeah, one and
then he goes to
bank,
cash in the check from the payout.
Yep.
And then the bank discriminates him, calling the cops because they don't think he really earned that money.
Mm-hmm. And then he sues the bank.
He
gets the money from the bank, so he is rich.
I can imagine he was super pissed, but also like, come on, you just made 2 big buck moves. Just like, yeah, oh man, that was a funny story. Just like, man discriminated against, wins court case, cashes in check, bank discriminates him and calls the police.
Wins another court case. Like, holy crap!
Like, dude, what a proactive day. Well, that has
been...
been...
this has been the Scatterpot podcast.
It has.
I've been David.
And I've been Kanan.
And this is, this is episode 52. Next week
is the 1-year anniversary of the Scatterpot podcast.
That'd be crazy.
I have a bunch. Well, I say we, but I have a bunch of fun things planned.
I have a bunch of fun things planned.
And if Huber thinks he's sick now, just wait till after that episode.
No. I'm giving away hentai comics.
I'm sending nude pics.
Yeah, no,
of Huber.
We're doing. Oh, well.
Bye.